Hello and good evening from Israel. We have a very special talk tonight for our Middle East Forum webinar. We're going to be talking tonight with Sara Haetzni-Cohen on Israel's May 2021 riots and assessment. Last year's conflict between Israel and Hamas prompted Arab riots against Jews. While private organizations mobilized to protect the innocent, the police generally kept clear, signaling that they do not want to get involved or punish the attackers. What lessons can be learned from these really unprecedented riots? How can the police and Israel's government and decision makers more broadly be convinced to change tactics vis-à-vis Israeli Arabs, especially in mixed cities? Tonight, we are honored to have Sara Haetzni-Cohen, who is chairman of My Israel, Israel Shali, a Zionist movement promoting pro-Israel values within the Jewish state. After serving as an IDF officer, she worked with global Jewish communities for the Jewish Agency and World Beitar, the movement of the revisionist movement. She has a BA and an MA from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. She was born in Kiryat Arba, part of Hebron. She now lives with her husband and their 4 children in Jerusalem. Sara will talk for about 15 minutes, including showing some videos, and then we'll open it up for questions. Please, if you have questions, write them in the chat box and I'll get to them after Sara's initial presentation. Sara, if you'd like to unmute yourself, and the floor is yours.
Hi, good evening from Jerusalem. Good afternoon. Thank you everybody to come here today, and thank you for your time. Thank you for your careness. Thank you very much, Ashley. Thank you, Naved Romi, your representative, the forum's representatives in Israel. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Sara Haetzni-Cohen. I'm the head of My Israel organization, My Israel movement, and I would like to share a few words about My Israel, and then to show you a short presentation. But let's begin with just a few words about the NGO that I'm running. My Israel is one of the largest grassroots organizations here in Israel. It's dedicated to promoting Zionist activism online, but also on the ground. The movement was founded back in 2010 by Naftali Bennett and Ayelet Shaked, 2 very famous people today. But it was before they went into politics. Of course, we're an NGO, we're not affiliated with any political party. Of course, we have an agenda, but we're not affiliated with any party. What we do every day, we drive change by empowering our more than 200,000 followers. Most of them here in Israel, most of them Israelis, to take action in order to defend Israel, counter BDS, and strengthen the Jewish communities all around Israel, of course, also in Judea and Samaria. And I'm here today to speak about what happened in Israel in last May, in May 2021, because from my point of view, my professional life, but also my personal life, changed in this month. Please let me start by sharing a short video. This is you're gonna watch a few minutes of a video that we after the riots finished in May, we decided that we need to tell the story. So we made a movie about what happened in Lod, in the city of Lod. And I'm gonna show you 4 minutes out of it. Then if you want the full movie, it's a 40 minutes movie, and I'll be happy to share the link with you. It's on YouTube. So let me please just share my screen. And let's watch a few minutes from this video. No sound? All right.
Yes, so Sarah, when you share your screen, if you also click on share sound.
Okay, let me stop this. Sorry, because it worked before. Let's stop the sharing and let's try to do it once again. Sorry for that. Okay, here it is, the share sound. I'm gonna take it a bit, okay, here it is.
וחשבתי שאוקיי, למרות שלא ישנו בכלל כל הלילה, ממשיכים כרגיל. נסעתי לעבודה, ואני סוגרת את העבודה בשעה 8. אז סגרתי בשעה 8 בחושך, ממש ככה בתמימות, וביקשו ממני להגיע לעזריאלי, להתראיין לכמה ערוצים. הלכתי לשם, התחילו שם יריות לכיווננו. באיזשהו שלב רצתי בריצת אמוק לרכב, שהיה יחסית רחוק, וממש רצתי, ותוך כדי יריות ובומים ושיגעון, משהו שאי אפשר להסביר אותו, ואני מגיעה לרכב וככה כולי ממש רועדת, רק רוצה להגיע הביתה. תוך כדי בעלי מתקשר שיש אזעקות והילדים נורא לחוצים, ויש עשן, כל הבית עשן, כי שרפו את הגינת ילדים שלנו. ותוך כדי הילדים אומרים לי, אמא, כל הבית עשן, יש אזעקות תבואי, ואני ככה עוד בהלם מעצמי, מתחילה לנסוע לכיוון הבית, ואני פשוט לא מצליחה, כל הכבישים חסומים משרפות. כבישים משני הצדדים שלי מלאים באש משוגעת של רכש, ואני פשוט התעקה שם וחלילה יעשו בי לינץ'. בדרך נס הצלחתי ככה לעבור את זה. התחושה הזאת של ההפקרות של המשטרה הייתה מאוד מאוד קשה. היא הייתה קשה באותה מידה של הפחד מהפרעות עצמם. התחושה הזו שהמשטרה שלנו הפקירה אותנו.
אני ממש מסכימה עם התושבים שאמרו שאנחנו חווינו מלחמה אמיתית ברחובות. העיר בערה במלוא המובן המילה. אם את לוקחת שוב את השכונה שאנחנו יושבים בה, שכונה של 20,000 תושבים, שיש לה כניסה אחת ויציאה אחת. ומה שקורה שבדרך במחרייסר יש לך שתי גשרים, גשר מחרייסר וגשר הפרדה מפלסית 127. שמה שקרה בפרעות, משני הגשרים ידעו אבנים. ידעו זה לא אבנים, זה סלעים. העבירו פה צמיגים מתחת לגשר, ומה שקרה, שכונה שלמה, כמעט לא יכלה להיכנס הביתה, לחזור מעבודה. אנחנו נסענו ממש להציל 3 חיילים, שהסעה הורידה אותם בצומת גינתון, ולא הסכימו להיכנס לכאן לשכונה.
אנחנו חווינו את לוד מבחוץ, והכנסנו את עצמנו מתוך צורך אמיתי בשטח, לתוך לוד ולתוך כל הסיפור הזה. התחלנו עם תודעה, וניסינו להעיר את המשטרה, ולהעיר את רשויות החוק, ולהעיר את רשויות האכיפה, ולהביא אותם לכדי מצב שיגנו על האזרחים, וראינו שאין את מי להעיר. ובאיזשהו שלב מצאנו את עצמנו נאלצים לעשות את תפקידה של המשטרה, ולהביא אנשים שיגנו על החיים.
הגענו, היה פה ממש אזור קרב.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the sharing. This is okay, once again, it's from our video. It's from the movie that we filmed and edited once we understood that the Israeli media is not going to tell the real story out of, I don't know, PC or hair reasons. And we decided to make this movie because we felt that we have to tell this story. And I'm here, as I said before, I'm here to tell the story of May 2021 in Israel. Out of the perspective of a lot of people, also in Israel, but especially out of Israel, in the month of May, there was one main event in Israel, and it's the war with Hamas. The operation, the guardian of the walls operation, the Shomer HaChomot in Hebrew, that was the main event that happened here in Israel. But it's not the only event. More than a week, the state of Israel was under a rocket attack, a very violent rocket attack from Hamas in Gaza. The missiles hit all around Israel, and the cities of Ashkelon, Beersheba, Sderot, Ashdod were war zones during this operation. But the story of Shomer HaChomot, the story of this operation, from my point of view, and also from a lot of Israelis' point of view, is not the story is not the missiles from Gaza, because it's sad to say it, but we already got used to living in a constant war with Gaza. You know, every couple of years, every few years, we have this operation in Gaza. We have a war with Gaza. We have a war with Hamas. But so what was different in this month of May? That the story of May 2021 is not what happened with Gaza, is what happened here in what's called Little Israel, but in the cities, in the mixed cities, in the main roads, in isolated towns in Galilee, in the Negev. This is the main story, the main earthquake that happened here in Israel, and this is why I'm here for, to tell this story. So the operation of Shomer HaChomot, the operation in May in Gaza, it all started when Hamas decided to shoot missiles over Jerusalem. It was Jerusalem Day. There was this flag, this flags celebration in the old city. It was May 10th. And Hamas shoot missiles over Jerusalem, over the capital of Israel, because that's what was his statement, that we're fighting for Jerusalem. We're going to free Jerusalem, right? It didn't start out of the blue. It was the climax of a very, very violent month here in Jerusalem, in the city where I live. During this month, it was also the Ramadan fast. There were every day there were violent events, incidents from Arabs towards Jews in Jerusalem, in Damascus Gate, in the Temple Mount, in Sheikh Jarrah, in the light train, everywhere, in these parts of Jerusalem. We called it the TikTok Intifada, because they put it on TikTok, and they made it very cool to attack Jews, to split coffee on Jews' faces, to hit Jews on the train. It was really cool to do it, and they put it on TikTok, and it was really a trend. So this month was a lot of tents here in Jerusalem, and then on Monday's afternoon, May 10th, it blown up totally when Hamas intervened and shoot missiles over the capital of Israel. So in this evening, except missiles, I took my kids and we went to the out of the main the living room, because we wanted to take shelter. We're not used to have missiles here in Jerusalem. We have a lot of other terror attacks, but missiles is new for us. So anyway, this evening, except missiles, there was a very violent evening in all around Israel, what we call mixed cities, where Arabs and Jews usually living together peacefully. But in that Monday, it all erupted, and it became a new center of violence that we haven't seen before. So in Jaffa, in Akko, in Ramle, in Lod, there was like a volcano of Arab violence erupted from the Arabs towards the Jews, the Jews and their property, Jewish property, synagogues, their cars, their apartments, the nice museum that was in Lod, but towards it was very clear where the violence began and who they aimed it to. So what we saw, that on one hand, we saw a violent mass rioting from the Arabs towards the Jews. On the other side, what you would expect as a citizen, that there will be someone who will protect you, and this is the job of the police. But what we found, that the police was not functioning. And this is so we have, you know, that's a blast. On one hand, mass of Arabs are attacking you and calling Allahu Akbar and the Hayber Hayber al Yahud, this is death to the Jews. And on the other side, the police is not there. They're not there at all. And people are calling the police and begging them. We have, if you watch the movie, you can hear the people are begging the police to come, and the police is saying, "Oh, we're taking care of it. We can't do it. Or we have a lot of incidents, so just sit in your home and don't do anything. Don't go out, etc." So we thought, you know, it's a one evening a crisis, but not. It happened. It continued to have to be through a few days. So it was Monday, and then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and during these days, no police at all in these cities, in these mixed cities, in Akko, in Yafo, in Lod, in Ramle, also in the Galilee and the Negev. They blocked main roads with fire. They took the electricity out, and it was a big thing. So in Akko, for example, most of the violence was around the old city. Dozens of Jewish shops and businesses were looted and broken. Hotels were set on fire. One person, one Jewish person, Avi Har Even, he was 84. He couldn't make it to escape the hotel that he was staying in, and he was burned to death. Also, in the streets of Akko, they hunted Jews. So they succeeded to catch three people, and they lynched them. 3 of them were hardly injured, crucially injured, and they still, take these injuries over their body and their soul. Let's go to Lod. So in Lod, half of this, what you need to understand, that if you do know, if you don't know, Lod is the center of Israel. It's 5 minutes, 10 minutes away driving from the international airport of Israel, from Natbag. And it's the center of Israel. It's not, somewhere. Akko is far away, but not that I'm justifying anything, but Akko is far away, so nobody knows, or it takes time the news to arrive. But Lod is in the center of Israel. And what happened in Lod, that the half of the city were set on fire. It started by mass rioting that aimed to the municipality building, and to police cars and policemen, and to Jews. Every Jew that they could catch in the street, they did what they could do. So these riots also included murder. They lynched one person who drove his car. His name was Igal Yoshua. They lynched him with rocks. They set on fire eight synagogues, dozens of cars of Jewish that belonged to Jews were set on fire. A few apartments they broke. People ran away from their apartments. They took their families, they took their kids, and ran away. So they broke into the apartments. They looted the apartment and they set it on fire. What we also met in Lod, that there were dozens of shooting in the streets, an illegal weapon held by the Arabs in Lod, and it didn't happen in Akko. It did happen in Lod, and it took everything to this very high level of violence. Not only rocks, not only cocktail molotovs, but also shooting that we never met it before. Now let me talk about what we did. So we arrived to Lod physically on Thursday. So the whole mess started on Monday, and from Monday to Thursday, let's say to Wednesday night, we were busy. We were shouting through our keyboards. We pressured and we put, we posted the videos, and we called the parliament members, and we called the Minister of Internal Security, and we said, someone needs to do something. It's not about me I'm not supposed to do anything like this. So we tried to put all our energy on waking up the system. On Wednesday night, we understood that it doesn't matter how hard we try and how loud we shout. Nobody's home. The police is not functioning. The orders that they're getting is not, they have not enough policemen, and the orders that they're getting are very, very moderate. They couldn't shoot the Arabs, that they couldn't even do, they didn't really do anything. And what we decided that it's us or nobody. So we physically arrived on Thursday I'm going to finish in a few minutes, 3 minutes. So we decided to arrive to Lod physically and to assist the local residents. Together, we set a situation room that was placed in a youth club, and we called any help we could get from the outside. We recruited help from grassroots support. We called volunteers to come to Lod. We asked people with licensed weapons to come and help us, keep the apartments, that nobody will loot them, and just save anything we could. We called medics. We called people with drones. Everyone we called. We also founded a call center. We recruited a bus with the armored glass from the Yesha Council, because we, shooting all around the city, and we wanted to take volunteers from one place to another. So we couldn't do it with private cars. We asked the Yesha Council to give us a special bus that if someone shoots at it, that nothing happens. And with all this, we protected the city, we protected the local residents, we protected the houses, the community centers, the synagogues, everything we could. We worked in coordination with the police, but the police did not help almost anything. So what we did is a civil protection. The change arrived on Friday's Eve, when the police finally brought special forces, and we backed up. We don't want to be there. We don't want to replace the police, and then we just left very moderately, and we stayed there just to assist the elderly and to give assistance to anything that they need, not on the war zone level. After all this mess finished, we understood we have another job, and the job is to tell the story everywhere we can. So this is why we filmed and edited the movie 5 Days in May. We added the English subtitles, and this is why we're acting everywhere we can to raise awareness, to understand we have a new challenge here in Israel, a new danger. You can also call it the new battle of independence. That we never heard about, we never thought about it before, but the state of Israel as a state, not the NGOs, also, even though we're happy to help, but the state of Israel needs to be very anxious about these events happen again. So thank you. This is
Thank you very much, Sarah, for that lesson. As someone who also experienced it, there's so much to talk about. There's so much that's happening, and really, as you said, this was the unprecedented part of that. We faced rockets, we've had operations against Hamas, but this was really unprecedented and really, touched the psyche of so many Israelis, because, while we know that some of the mixed cities, there can be tension, we've never seen to that level. So I'd like to ask you as a first question, because time is running out, what do you recommend the government do to make sure that the next time there is some sort of operation or whatever it is, that this doesn't happen again? What would your recommendations be to the government, to the decision makers, to the police?
The police cannot do it itself. They don't have enough forces. They don't have enough. They can't do it by themselves. They need more power. They need more units. More, they need to learn how the Magav, how the special forces are acting in Judea and Samaria, for example, with civil population, and try to copy it to inside of Israel. It might be sad, sound sad, but that's the situation. Now, I want to tell you another thing, Ashley. When we arrived to Lod on Thursday, there were tons of policemen, a lot of policemen and policewomen. They didn't do anything. They didn't want to win. They just, what was their goal? To have quiet. So when I came there and we called the assistance of the minister, and we said, listen, we want to work with the police. We don't want to do it alone. We want to work with the police. And you know what he told me? You want to help? Go away. Go back to your home. And then I told him, listen, we're not going anywhere. Now, if you want to work with us, we'll be very happy to. If you don't, we're here.
Do you think one of the answers Greg Roman asked, if one of the answers is to declare martial law and send in the army? Maybe it's a job that the police simply can't do. Maybe it's a job for the IDF, as you said, some of the units of which have more experience dealing with these sort of issues.
I do think that we need special forces like in the US or this way or another. We can learn from the US. We can copy it. I don't know. I just know that the police cannot do it by itself. They can't. They're not capable of doing it. They're saying it themselves. We're making a lot of meetings in the Knesset in order to wake the system up. And then the police representatives, they come and they say, we can't do it next time. We can't do it ourselves next time. So what we need now, one thing that I do recognize, that in the leadership of Israel, unfortunately, they don't want to deal with it. It's not politically correct to deal with it. You know, people just want to put it behind and to erase May and not to deal with, not to think, okay, we have, something happened here in May. It might be a one-time, one-time show or one-time incident, but it might not. So what do you do if it's not the last time that it happens? And I don't think what I recognize, and God help me, and please make me wrong, that the leadership of Israel is not dealing with it enough. And so what we as an NGO, we're getting every week. So last week we got three different people from all around Israel calling us and saying, listen, we need to take care of ourselves. Can you help us? Found I don't know, something, משמר שכונה for our
local neighborhood watch sort of thing.
Yeah, something. So can you help us? Can you help us connect the police? So they're calling an NGO to do it. That's absurd.
Sarah, but we only have time for really one more question, but there has been a request to put the link to the video in the chat box. So while I ask the final question, if you can maybe put the link to the video so people can watch it after this. But I would like to, we asked what can be done next time, God forbid there is a sort of uprising, whatever you want to call it, a local intifada, but what can be done in between? Is it a mentality change that needs to happen amongst the government, amongst the police, amongst the decision makers? Is there something that can be done? At what level? Forget about waiting for the next level of violence. What can be done now when there is no operation ongoing, that there isn't a heightened sense of violence? What can be, what can you give us 2 or 3 practical steps?
Yeah.
If you were in a decision-making position, what would you recommend to do in these mixed cities like Lod, Ramla, and others?
Okay, here. So the first thing, you need to strengthen the police. You have to do it. You need to strengthen the police in these cities, but not only in these cities, also in the Negev, so when they have tons of illegal weapon, you need to strengthen the police. You need to see more police in the streets, and you need to give them the right orders. Okay, so they can have the tools to deal with these little terrorists. This is the first thing. The second thing is about the judicial system. So the first thing that you would expect that will happen is that the judicial system will look on May and will see May as, as something that you need to deal with it very severely. We don't see it. The judges, just today, judges give very light punishments to the rioters, and they just, as I said before, they try to erase May. They try to say, yeah, so it's not as dangerous today as it was in May. It was a one-time eruption. And I don't recognize that the judicial system that's supposed to be one of the, it's a very important in this string of justice, that they don't give the right punishments. They give very light punishments. They didn't catch everyone. They put they put the COVID mask so they can't be recognized. But you need to put the Shin Bet in this issue and take, and give very strong punishments to whoever did all these crimes. So this is the second thing, and you need to talk about it. You can't say what you hear all the time as a pattern goes in Israel, that they're saying that these these terrorist attacks were not, it came out of poverty, it came out of, they have too much illegal weapon in the Arab population. So they try to give excuses, but if you won't tell the truth to yourself, you can't deal with this in the right and the proper way. And one last thing that I think that it's is very important is to collect the illegal weapon. You could see that in Lod, it took everything one step up.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for that fascinating insight into what were very traumatic events last year. I would recommend everybody to watch the video. I'm sorry we went over a little bit tonight. That was because of technical issues at the beginning. Thank you so much. I'm sorry we didn't get to all of your questions. There's a lot of questions. I'm sure Sarah, you can approach her in a variety of ways to find out more about her organization.
I'll write my email. I'm going to write my email down here, okay. So you can please feel free to contact me. It's my private email, but
so please, feel free to contact Sarah to ask her more questions. As I said, there's a lot to talk about. I think there's almost 30 questions, which unfortunately we weren't able to get to. So please write down the email and watch the video to find out more about this, because this really has become a new front. We've had a front against Hamas, against Hezbollah, against others, but we've never seen, or at least not for many generations, such a front in our cities and really in our major central towns. So this is something that we should be keeping an eye on. Thank you again, Sarah, and good night from all of us.
Thank you.